been paid for by the New World Order.
Oh, you didn't know?
You ready? Let's go!
Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Feed me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is Big Daddy Cool Vinny Apicella, and I am here with you with another attack to your audiological senses that is known as the Sportswire. Today is Thursday, August 27th, 2015, and you know what? We've got a jam-packed show for you today. As a matter of fact, you're not going to have to, Matter of fact, you're not going to hear my voice the whole time. Yes, this is going to be a change for you. Besides the music that I play, quite honestly, I finally have the interview with Jenna Marotta that we've been trying to do for the past few days. I mentioned it on Monday's show that we were supposed to do it Monday. We were supposed to do it Tuesday. Well, we finally got it done yesterday, on Wednesday the 26th. So that interview will air today. It's a half-hour interview. Remember, this Saturday, Falcon Field, Meriden, Connecticut, your defending, undisputed 2014 NFL Colonial Conference champions, the Connecticut Panthers. They take on the Western Connecticut Militia in what proves to be their toughest battle of the season. And Jenna Marotta will be there to kick things off with the national anthem. Game time kickoff is at 7 o'clock. Gate opens around 6. And Jenna Marotta singing the national anthem. Okay, so let's see. We have a lot of stuff going on today. We're going to be going over the game. We're going to try to do a quick pregame between the Panthers and the Militia. Kind of preview it. Do more of an in-depth pregame on Saturday. We'll be going live at probably 6:30. With a pregame. Also, got to tell you, we're going to be going over a lot of WWE news, and after Monday's Raw, the entire landscape of World Wrestling Entertainment has been shaken to the core. And no, I don't mean the group that Wade Barrett captained a few years ago. I mean shaken to the core. All right, baseball news. Quickly, the Yankees are no longer in first place. They've been on a slide. The Toronto Blue Jays have been on a tear, winning 21 of 25 games. So they're now in first place, probably by a game and a half or 2.5 games. Also, want to mention our sponsors. You can visit them all on Facebook. Stay Blessed Productions, Jerry Wilson from It's So Real Productions, and Wayne Jones Management Company, www.blemg.com. Also, adding in there, even though they're not necessarily sponsors, but definitely companies that you should visit, Sister Sue's Homemade Jams and Jellies, and also M&J Video Games and First Base Sports Cards in both Southington and Wallingford. They're going to be having quite a few autograph signings coming up, and coming up this Saturday as well. So Saturday, 1 p.m. at First Base Sports Cards, M&J Video Games, and First Base Sports Cards in Wallingford at 1 p.m. this Saturday. They're going to have Matt Stryker, who is former WWE superstar and commentator, and he's currently the Lucha Underground commentator. Okay? He also did some work with Global Force with Jim Ross back in Japan in January. Also, NXT wrestler CJ Parker and TNA heavyweight champion EC3 Ethan Carter III. That's this Saturday at 1 p.m. Now, also, Saturday, September 12th, my son's birthday, 1 p.m. at, again, M&J Video Games and Sports Cards in Wallingford at 1 p.m. Meet and greet with WWE Hall of Famers Tito Santana and Tony Atlas. So they'll be back in Connecticut for that time. So definitely check those out. And I'll be promoting them as the days come closer. Of course, like I said, starting this Saturday, 1 p.m., Matt Stryker, CJ Parker, and EC3 will be there. M&J Video Games and First Base Sports Cards in Wallingford, Connecticut. Check them out. All right. So, also, I've got to promote where you can listen to us. That's right. You got to check us out wherever you can. First off, Spreaker. That is where we are housed. www.spreaker.com/show/sports-wire. So check it out. That's where we record to. That's the quickest way to get to our show. Also, visit our website, www.swe-ct.com. And then you got www.myfatcatradio.com. You've also got www.facebook.com/SportswireCT and Facebook.com/BDC Vinny Apicella and Facebook.com/FatCatRadio Enterprise. All right. We've also got Twitter, SoundCloud, Tout, Pinterest, Periscope, Foursquare, Instagram, and Tumblr as well, SWE Connecticut, and then on Skype, YouTube, and Google Plus is Sportswire SWE. As always, go to iTunes. The easiest way for you to listen to us. Go to iTunes, click on the podcast page, search Sportswire, look for our flame logo, and that's it. Subscribe, and then every episode of the Sportswire, every attack to your audiological senses, as well as this season's Connecticut Panthers games, will be delivered directly to your listening apparatus, be it an iPod, an iPhone, iPad, anything you have iTunes on. It will go. It will go directly there. All right, so what else we're talking about? Like I said, we're going to talk about the NFL. We'll get into that in a little while. But first, before anything, let's get to this long-awaited interview. That's right, the interview with Jenna Murata. And like I said, I've been saying it wrong the whole time. I feel so bad. Okay? And
this call is being recorded.
And we're going to get to that interview right now. Folks, Jenna Murata, she'll be at the Connecticut Panthers game this coming Saturday. Like I said, gate opens at about 6 o'clock. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. And Jenna Murata will be singing the national anthem. She'll also be there with her CDs. Definitely support her. Great talent. Great local indie talent. All right, so here's the interview right now. Right after this commercial, so to speak, this break, promoting our Bowie Twism White piece. Here's Jenna Murata. Here's the interview right after the break with Jenna Murata.
What's up, everybody? This is Wayne Jones, founder and chairman of Wayne Management Company, Chief Executive Officer of Black Lion Entertainment Music Group, hitting you from Brooklyn, New York. I am also a proud sponsor of Fat Cat Radio and my boy, DJ Twism White Peace. Yo, Twism, let's hit him in the head, Black Lion style.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Big W Cool Vinny Apicella with the Sportswire, and I am finally on the line with Jenna Murata. She will be singing the national anthem at the Connecticut Panthers game this Saturday, August 29th, Falcon Field, Meriden, Connecticut. 6:30 start time. Gates open around 5 o'clock. Adult tickets are $10. Kids under 12 are free, so come on out and not only support some great semi-pro football, but also support this great talented singer. Jenna, how are you today?
Wow, thanks. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I know we've been playing a little bit of phone tag over the past couple days, but I'm glad that this finally is taking place.
Yeah, I am also.
So
I'm very excited to come on Saturday.
And we're excited to have you. So talk to me a little bit about how you got into singing. Was it a love from childhood?
Absolutely. Very, very early on. I guess probably started with the movie Annie back in the early 80s.
Really?
Yeah, and so I sang in school and choirs, did solos, and started vocal lessons, and then studied it with musical theater in college previous to starting to write my own music.
Mm-hmm.
And I started writing music, 17 years ago now.
Really?
And I released my first album last year, 10 original songs.
Very good, very cool.
And that's about it.
All right. So what were some of the struggles that you encountered along the way? I mean, obviously, being singing in college and, starting to write so long ago, and then, you started to write 17 years ago and finally got your CD out last year. What were some of the struggles you ran into?
For a while I wasn't, I guess I didn't know what genre I was going to be or how I would fit. Out of college, I guess I had a notion that I wanted to sing more popular music than more musical theater is what I was doing in college. And I don't know where it switched, but at one point in time I wanted to be a bluesy trip-hop artist. I wanted to have like a combination of acid jazz and blues with my original songs. And I would write, but I wrote completely a cappella. And in about 2004 or so, I bought a synthesizer, a Chord Triton, thinking that would be my instrument. And again, it just hadn't come together yet. And in 2007, I believe, I bought a guitar.
So
and
that
was like, that's kind of when all of a sudden my music fit something. And I started all these a cappella songs I had been writing for years. I kind of put to my guitar and figured out what the chords were. And then it had a sound, and then it made sense. And then I continued writing using my guitar. And then obviously the goal of every artist or songwriter is to have people hear their music. So that set me on the path to destroy it. Was my first album. I was really just threw everything into my album. So
that's great, and I've been playing some songs off your album on my podcast. And,
I really appreciate it.
Oh, not a problem. I'm happy to support a lot of the indie. Now, what do you consider yourself, an indie musician or local musician?
Well, I'm definitely indie, but I would consider myself more of an adult contemporary artist.
Okay.
Adult contemporary rock and pop. Little influence of old country, but I didn't really take country as the foreground. I would take more like New York style, like Saturday Night Live band style as the foreground for my music.
All right. That's just pretty awesome. I'm definitely happy to help support your career and play the music just to get it out to people that, may not have the opportunity to hear your music. I've got listeners from, last I checked my stats, I've got listeners from all over the world. And, being able to promote your music is actually a great thing for me. But so besides Annie, what were some of your other musical influences growing up that you kind of modeled your career after?
Well, I started with the influences, some of the great solo artists of the 80s. You know, like, I'm a girl, so it was Madonna, Whitney Houston, Tiffany, Debbie Gibson, you know, those guys. But somewhere in my early teens, I discovered Billy Joel.
Okay.
And, you know, I literally engulfed myself in almost nothing but Billy Joel for about 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, like in college, he's pretty much all I cared about, besides what I was studying with the musical theater genre.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, in my early 20s, I kind of embraced the jam band Ween. And they actually brought some influence into some of the stuff that I've been writing lately, which hasn't been recorded yet. And then, you know, I always listened to what was on the radio, anything from classic rock to hip-hop, and now I'm into a lot of jazz. So I've definitely been influenced by different music. You know, my grandfather on my mother's side played trumpet. He was a union trumpet player back in the 1940s.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I guess you could say I was born into music in a sense. It's just, you know, it's just my past. I played multiple instruments, having been a drum major in high school. At the time, I played flute and trumpet, and, you know, I would just kind of walk around the band and grab everybody's instrument and just pick it up and start playing like a scale on it, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm very familiar with orchestration and instrumentation, and that was very important to me in my album. I have all live players. Nothing was synthetic other than, you know, using, say, an organ versus a piano.
Right.
So that's, you know, that's kind of a part of me, is the background of having been in band and, you know, concert band and marching band and all that stuff, along with, you know, the singing side of it with chorus.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess that also kind of relates to the sports world in the sense of I didn't miss a football game in high school, and it was the only season that I wasn't like a manager. I was a basketball manager, I was a boys tennis manager, I was a baseball manager. So I really? Yeah, I'm a huge sports fan. So it's just really cool that you found me and started putting me on a sports, you know, show, because I'm a huge sports nut. I work at a sports bar part-time, like, huge Eagles fan. Don't hate me, but I am a diehard Eagles and Phillies fan. I grew up outside Philadelphia, so.
Okay, yeah, I was just going to get into that. I saw that, you know, I saw on your website, which is JennaMarataMusic.com, and I was just looking through your bio and how you were born in Philly but raised in Jersey.
Yeah.
So does that? What was that?
About 5 minutes from Philadelphia, literally.
Oh, okay. So how does that give you any conflict when it comes to rooting for the Jets or the Giants compared to the Eagles?
Oh my gosh, my life is a nightmare lately because I cheered on the Rangers. Are you kidding me? My family wanted to disown me. My godmother's husband's like, who are you? I went to a Yankees game last week. I warned everybody ahead of time just so they couldn't talk smack, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, honestly, I always say I would be proud to wear an Eagles jersey in the Dallas Cowboys or the Giants, like, owner's box. Like, that's how far I'd go with my Eagles pride. But the problem being, all my jerseys have expired since all the players that I've bought jerseys for have gone away. So I'm trying to decide who I like on this new Eagles squad. You know, we'll see what Kit brings us this year. It's kind of a you know, do or die for him, I would have to say, as the expert on my Eagles. Not really an expert.
How do you feel about signing Tim Tebow?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I cannot say. I'm a real fence with this one. I've got this, I'm kind of balanced on this fence. I just don't know which way to go yet.
Okay. I can understand that.
One game doesn't, get me pumped yet.
You're right.
You got to show me first. You got to show me a little bit more first. Usually it takes me a couple seasons before I'll purchase your jersey. Let's just go there.
Right. Okay, I can understand that. So how do you now? I guess the story is just coming out. Michael Vick has been signed by the Steelers of all teams. Do you have kind of an in-state rivalry with the Eagles and the Steelers?
That's not our huge rivalry. I mean, we're Giants, we're Cowboys rivals, pretty much.
Right.
As far as where Michael Vick is concerned, I was a fan of his. I really liked his athleticism. I think he's an incredible athlete. Like, we all have our mistakes. Like, everybody keeps talking about the bullshit with him. Like, I'm so over it. Excuse my language. Oh, my God, I cursed online.
It's okay.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I have his jersey.
Okay.
I thought he was an incredible athlete, and I liked when we were able at one point in time to have him and another great quarterback where we could kind of flip back and forth. And that
Right.
was a really fun Eagles time for me. That was a really, really cool team to watch,
Mm-hmm.
As far as him going to Pittsburgh, I'm neither here nor there with it. Like, good luck to him. Obviously, his time with us is done.
Mm-hmm.
But I really have, like, a big problem with his time with us.
Okay. All right, great. So you had mentioned that you had gone to a Yankees game last week or a couple weeks ago. Are you a big Yankees fan, or did I hear you say you were rooting for the Rangers?
No. So here's the deal. I'm a Phillies fan, right?
Yep.
And I also just grew up loving baseball.
Okay.
I love baseball. I have since, in my later, adult years, become a softball player for fun.
Mm-hmm.
But growing up, I've been to many different stadiums, and Yankees was just, I can't believe it's been 8 years and I've never seen Yankee Stadium. It was kind of like that.
Yep. Okay.
So I played along. I just find that Philadelphia Stadium and Philadelphia fans can be a lot more fun. That's just my opinion. As far as Rangers are concerned, I have a love of my life, and he's a Rangers fan, so it kind of like came with the relationship. So I got in trouble for like cheering him on, by my family, because they're like, "You're a Flyers fan. Don't you get that?" Like,
okay, so the Rangers in hockey. All right.
Yeah. Oh, no, not the Texas Rangers. In fact, those guys I hate right now because they took one of my 3 Phillies husbands away from me. Cole Hamels went to the Rangers, and it really made me sad. And then Utley went to the Dodgers, which made me even sadder. When Jason Worth left for Washington, I was by then kind of calling him Jason Worthless because he was not doing so well for the Phillies at the time. So it was kind of like an amicable divorce with him.
Yeah. I could definitely understand that.
That's about where I go with sports. I do play, it's been a couple years, but I played Restaurant League softball over here in New Jersey. We won a couple championships, and that was a lot of fun. I'm a catcher, and I've got cat-like reflexes.
Very cool. All right. So let's kind of, I actually, you had mentioned that you work, at a sports bar part-time, and does anybody recognize you from any of your gigs, or do you feel that you're not at that level yet?
I don't think I'm necessarily at that level yet, but I do meet great people who then discover me on Twitter and are like, "Oh my God." And in fact, I started a new job. My other job is I'm a realtor, and I walked in to meet a recruitment manager the other day, and she opened with saying, "I was listening to you. Oh my gosh!" And she's like, "Can you please be on my karaoke team next year when we go on our retreat?" It's like, wow, that's cool,
Yeah.
I can't wait to hit that status. I guess I don't know when I'll know when that hits, but I mean, we'll just keep pushing for as high as we can go. As far as I'm concerned, that's my goal.
Well, you have the blue check mark on your Facebook status, so I mean, obviously somebody's paying attention.
Yes,
which
case, I'm the only Jenna Murata on iTunes, and my music is streamed probably close to, I don't know, 300, 400,000 times around the globe. I'm really getting out there. People are, catching on to my music. That's a dream of mine. I'd love, something that I write to really just touch people some way. Even if it's just one of my kind of funny songs to make them laugh, change their mood, change their outlook. I mean, I think it's my goal. That's what makes me who I am today,
Yeah. So how does, seeing as you do write your own music, what are some of the craziest ideas that have kind of given you inspiration to write a song?
Oh, goodness. Well, craziest ideas? I can be inspired by kind of the silliest of things. I wrote a song called The Restaurant Song, and that was inspired by a well-known restaurant I worked for had a shelf. We get these people in the kitchen who, kind of get a little bit high and mighty sometimes.
Yep.
And they think, to get you to work properly, yelling at you is the way to do it, Yeah. And so a bunch of guys in our kitchen kind of was like, I'm not going to take this, This is just too much. She's not that nice. And so on a Friday night in Times Square with, 400 guests in our restaurant, 9 cooks dropped their hats and aprons, on a whistle command, and walked out the front door, in the middle of cooking.
Wow.
And so, and, the managers came in on their day off, and, we had to, stop feeding the restaurant. It was, a big deal, right?
Yeah.
A couple months later, this song just comes out, the restaurant song, and I go to the chef, and I'm like, hey, and she's like, what? I'm like, I'm like, hey, you remember that thing? What thing, Jenna? What are you talking about? The walkout, Jenna? You talking about the walkout? And I'm like, yeah, you remember when that happened? She's like, yeah, what of it? I'm like, well, I just want to let you know that I kind of wrote a song about it. She goes, what? You trying to tell me that when you're famous, there's a song about me? Oh, well, it's okay. Well, so-and-so writes about me in his comedy shows, and I see it as a compliment, so great.
So you've worked with a Gordon Ramsay type then?
Yeah, even worse like that.
Wow, that's amazing.
So yeah, that was a fun inspiration for a song. Like I said, I get inspiration from just different moments. It strikes when it's ready. It doesn't strike, because I say it's time to write. It just strikes when it comes. It's how I write.
So are you one of those artists that kind of keep a pad and a paper next to their bed so that if you wake up from a dream, you kind of jot notes down?
Well, thank God for inventing the iPhone. I think I've tripled the amount of songs I've written just since having an iPhone, where I can just click record and sing into my phone.
Wow, okay.
I also keep journals, like songbooks, lyric books.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to decipher anything about it, your head would spin. The writing is terrible. I mean, sometimes my letters are the size of a quarter on just I'm writing a word, because I just go and go and go. And a lot of times that's how I'll work out a song, by writing it. That's how I commit myself and change my lyrics and make the, mesh better. As I get older in my career, I'm really focused on working on, getting great lyrics out of my music. I've been really writing a lot in the last couple of years, so we'll be excited when this album can, start to hit enough, and then I can start to work on my next one for you guys.
Okay, so do you have a time frame when your next album might be going into production?
I don't yet. Maybe in the next couple of years. I'm not gonna. I would like to do one every 3 to 4 years. I think that's a good amount of time to get it out there, let it go. Obviously, if I making mega millions, I might make more frequent albums. But at this point in time, as an independent artist, as you may know, I mean, between production, studio, musicians, mixing, mastering, studios there, I mean, cost a big penny to make an album. And, many people want to be a musician, but they don't know what it all entails.
So what kind of advice would you give to somebody who's starting off in the music industry and wants to become wants to get into the singer or songwriter position, or even just, a guitar player in a band for somebody that wants to record? What kind of advice would you give someone starting out?
I always give the same advice, and it's really kind of brutal, if I may be so blunt. I always tell any individual who has a dream like that, an aspiration like that, to lock themselves in a bathroom.
Okay.
Close the door and look at yourself in the mirror and seriously analyze your gift.
Okay.
Because nobody's in the room to lie to you or you to lie to. And be 150% honest with yourself about where your gift lies. Because,
all right,
it's a long road. It's a big commitment. It takes a lot of time, practice, energy, money, patience, to pursue this as a lifetime, as a career. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people think, they get their big-headedness. They think I'm so great. But they might be more suited to just maybe sing with a choir in church, or be a teacher, or, is my music set for theater? Is my music set for this? Be honest with yourself first,
mm-hmm.
and then go for that, and then that way, that you're tackling something that you can accomplish logistically that makes sense, and then you're going to love doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great because, the old saying goes, if you love what you're doing, you're never going to work a day in your life. And if you have to work
exactly.
So is at this point in your career, is singing something more of like a hobby that, that you can make some money on, or is it your career aspiration to get to the level of, not having to work a side job or two side jobs?
It is definitely my goal to do that.
Okay.
That is 100% my goal. For that, and also if acting should also take me there, I'm okay with that too.
So you're acting too.
I act and I sing, and I used to dance. It's been a minute, but I am professionally trained in all three.
I'm gonna have to have you meet my son then, because he's actually doing musical theater. He's doing hip hop dancing, and he's starting with, I think, tap this year.
That's great. Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
He enjoys it. He's actually sung the national anthem for me on one of my old shows, and he's only 10, so he's got a long road ahead of him. But he's
somewhere, and that's definitely where I began. So good for him. Oh wow, that's so exciting. Good luck.
So thank you. So what kind of stuff do you act in?
Well, right now I'm pursuing acting on TV and film.
Okay.
Right now I'm working with a coach and taking a lot of classes, and I actually am writing something original right now. I kind of gave birth to a movie musical idea.
Okay.
So I began writing that this week. I actually found all these songs that I've written in the last 10 years or so to be suited to this project, and I started, working on scenes and character development, and I'm going to write a movie musical called Sheer Destiny.
Very cool. Well, if you ever need a production company, let me know, because I do have some contacts.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And have you ever heard of the 48-Hour Film Project?
I don't think so.
Well, the basic premise is to write, shoot, edit, and do everything for a short film in 48 hours. They have them, all around the world, and they actually have them up in Connecticut. Is that something that you would ever be interested in helping out with to help hone your craft?
You mean to act in?
Well, to act, or just kind of get a feel for the entire, film process.
That might be really cool. Yeah, I'd definitely be interested in seeing more information on that. That could be really cool.
All right. When I actually get a hold of my friend, I will definitely send you over some info on it. And and see where it goes. Because I think you're driven, and I think you're motivated towards a fantastic goal. I mean, I think all entertainment and show business is a great goal to have, because you kind of have to have that attitude of, you know what, I'm going to go out there and put a smile on somebody's face no matter what I have to do. And I think you have that.
A really feeling. So I really appreciate you, saying that.
All right. Well, thank you very much for talking to me. Again, are there any other gigs that you want to promote while while I've got you on the phone that you have upcoming besides this Saturday?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
Do you have any other upcoming shows that you're going to be playing besides this Saturday that you might want to promote and get out there?
Yeah, if anybody's ever in the New York area, in a couple weeks on September 21st, it's a Monday, at 8 p.m., I'm going to be playing a little cafe called the Path Cafe. It's 131 Christopher Street, New York City. It sits right next to the Christopher Street stop on the PATH train, which goes from New Jersey. It's really easy to get to. Basically, it's Christopher and Hudson, and it's a no-cover venue. They have food, they have wine, they have beer, they have coffee, espresso, cappuccino, great desserts, great salads. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's my first show since January in New York. I kind of took a little bit of a hiatus since I'm writing and a few other projects.
Okay.
So I'm really excited to get back out there and get back on the scene. I've been getting my chops up, practicing my guitar. You guys can check me out. I have a Twitter and a Periscope account where I've been kind of just playing some just random little sessions on the guitar and just singing for people, just for fun. Nothing, nothing professional.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so why don't you give the addresses of your various social media accounts? Like I said, your website. I noticed actually you have two websites. One is JennaMurataMusic.com and also JennaMurataActress.com. So you have two separate websites for each of your aspirations.
Yes, for my .coms I do music and actress, and also for Facebook, Jenna Murata Music and Jenna Murata Actress.
Okay.
And then for everything else, I'm just simply the Jenna Murata, TheJennaMarotta, and that's Twitter and Instagram. If you just Google my name, it's either me or a writer from New York, and she's not me. So don't be confused. JennaMurata.com is not me.
Okay.
But Jenna Murata Music and Jenna Murata Actress, definitely me.
All right. Well, Jenna, thank you very much. We will see you this Saturday. We will see you this Saturday at the Connecticut Panther game. And I noticed on one of your videos you posted to Facebook that you were a Panther in high school.
I was the Palmyra Panthers.
All right. Well, that's great. You'll be a Panther again this Saturday. And we look forward to seeing you.
Can't wait to see you guys. And I'll have some CDs there for everybody there. I usually sell them for $10. So if you want to hear some of my music, come on up and visit me, and I'll have CDs.
Okay, great. I'm going to end the recording now.
This one's dedicated to the one I still remember. Do you? They say it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. Do you remember? All of the kisses, the hugs, the moments that we were totally intoxicated with love. Do you remember? All of the promises, the memories, have you forgotten all of them that easily?
I'm sitting here stuck, looking out the window with the rain come and go, the days come and go, the pain come and go, the memories of us that I just can't let go. The moment that we met, our eyes lined up, spying deep inside each other's souls. We both knew from the go we had to grab a hold of this train ride. It started like a roller coaster, now like a children's track, we moving slower. Hollering and screaming, fighting and believing the best we had already achieved. I believe the moment that we accepted defeat came when we stopped fiending for each other, stopped being there for each other. But there is no other that I would have ever put before you. It's just that the proof I had for you wasn't the truth for you. Now I'm sitting here so shattered, feeling like a fool. Does it even matter? Do you remember? The kisses, the hugs, the moments that we were totally intoxicated with love. Do you remember? All of the promises, the memories, have you forgotten all of them that easily? Too many opportunities to recover from the troubles we were dealt, but not enough energy or health to continue to fight the blows being thrown just below the belt. We use words to cut deep like a ginsu. With issues remaining, we never talked and or rearranged behaviors and or actions. I'm thinking back to when I was backtracking, being attacked by your friends, haters, and pretends. Who was there with a shoulder to lend? Who held your hand when the last man left you stranded? Who took you from misery to happiness by being the friend that made you mad at snowball fights in a snowstorm? Candles lit, formed in a heart with warm oil to start the massage, a collage of pictures, prayers uttered together, filled with wishes. Our best intentions never made it to reality. It's a sad reality, thinking of it really. Do you remember? All of the kisses, the hugs, the moments that we were totally intoxicated with love. Do you remember?
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I am Big Daddy Cool Video Apicella. Yeah, it's actually been a long time that I haven't been speaking because, well, you had the interview with Jenna Murata, and also you had Twism White Piece of Do You Remember right here on the Sportswire. Twism White Piece is a great DJ who has his own show on Fat Cat Radio. Check him out. And also, he's an up-and-coming hip-hop artist himself. Twism White Piece of Do You Remember right here on the Sportswire. So yeah, that was our interview, my interview with Jenna Murata. Remember, this coming Saturday, Falcon Field. Gates open 6 p.m., kickoffs at 7. Your reigning, defending, undisputed 2014 NEFL Colonial Conference champions, the Connecticut Panthers, take on their toughest challenge of the year, the 6-0 Western Connecticut Militia, and singing the national anthem opening game, Jenna Murata. That's right. So be there. That's right. This Saturday, be there. Going over a quick little bit of possible. What do we want to call it? Well, here's the deal, okay? The Western Connecticut Militia are coming in with quite a big resume, okay? 2011 AA Southern Division champions, 2012 AAA Southern Division champions, as well as AAA Organization of the Year, 2013 Southern Division champions, as well as AAA Organization of the Year, 2014 AAA Organization of the Year. Of course, the 2014 AAA champions are the Connecticut Panthers. Currently, the Militia are 6-0. The Panthers are 5-1. Okay, so this is going to be in the words of the iconic JR. This is going to be a slobber knocker, folks. I'm not looking at. I don't think the Panthers are going to shut out the Militia. I don't think so. They have a lot of really good team members. I mean, I don't have their stats in front of me. This is Minor Pro, folks, remember. But just looking at the roster, majority of people from the Militia are from Connecticut. And I do think that it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out affair this week. Quite honestly. Anthony Sanders is going to be playing in his hometown. He's from Meriden, Connecticut. So he's part of the militia. Right. So, like I said, looks like their quarterbacks are Kevin Oberg and Steven Vigo. Those are the two main quarterbacks. Quite a few wide receivers, tight ends, running backs. I can't even go through who I think is going to start because I don't pay attention to the militia. For the Panthers, I think that they're going to end up really doing some great things this week. They are 5-1. They're on a 5-game winning streak after losing the first game. And you know what? Let me check who is that first game lost to. If I could check very quickly, because I want to see. I do, brother. The Connecticut Panthers. Let's see. Week 1. We are going into Week 7 right now. Week 1, the Panthers lost to the militia by a field goal, 21-18. So now, going into Week 7, the Panthers are going to get revenge. They're looking for revenge. In what I feel is going to be the NFL game of the week, it's going to be the Connecticut Panthers against the Western Connecticut Militia. Okay? And I'm going to pin it up to Pinterest. Absolutely. What image? Invalid image dating. Alright, well, whatever. The fact of the matter is this. Okay? We're going into the home stretch now. It's week 7. After this game, we've got 3 games left. Will the Panthers go back to the playoffs? And will we keep on going, man? I'm telling you, it's going to be a knockdown, drag out. Okay. Moving on. I was looking while the interview was playing. I was looking at Facebook. like everybody does. You look at Facebook. Okay? I gotta say, I'm kind of incensed and upset. There are some people, okay, and I'm not naming names, who are likening Donald Trump to Hitler, and I don't like that. Quite honestly, for the simple reason, okay, Donald Trump. They're saying because Donald Trump wants to build a wall between Mexico and the United States and send all the illegal Mexicans back to the United States, back to Mexico, okay, that they're likening him to Hitler because of, the Holocaust and all that. And, that is complete garbage, okay? The fact of the matter is this. Donald Trump has never come out to say he doesn't like Mexicans. He has basically said anybody who's in this country illegally should go back to their country. Is that so wrong? No, it's not. It's not. And the sad part is this person that posted these is a Christian. So if you're a Christian, okay, you want to see people do things by the law, by being right. And if somebody's here illegally, why are you defending them? Okay? They're not trying to get their green card. They're not trying to become a citizen because they get all the benefits of being a poor citizen anyways. They get welfare. They get the right to vote. They get their driver's license. They get paid under the table a lot of times. So, let me put it to you this way. Donald Trump is going to change America for the better. I know it, and everybody else who's voting for him knows it, considering he's got the highest poll numbers, okay? Because, A, he says what people don't want to hear. He says things that what people don't want to think about, what people don't want to say. Because you know what? He doesn't have to worry about the special interest groups. He doesn't have to worry about lobbyists. He has his own money. Okay? His money is paying for his money is paying for his security, for his airplane, for his limo, for his stuff. He's not using taxpayer money for any of that. So that's money that could go right back to China and pay off our national debt. Okay? Number 2, by sending people back to Mexico and building a wall between Mexico and the United States of America, so that Mexicans cannot come here illegally. Okay? I know people are still going to try and they're still going to get through, yada yada. But at least it'll be detoured a little bit by the wall. Okay, it is not like the Holocaust. It is simply building a wall between two countries so the citizens of one country cannot come to the other country illegally. When Hitler did what he did to the Jews, he put them in concentration camps because he legitimately hated Jews. Donald Trump does not hate Mexicans. Donald Trump wants to make this country right for Americans, for America, for citizens of America, and that's all there is to it. So all the people out there that are Donald Trump haters because you are misinterpreting what he's saying, well, then you know what? You have to take a closer look at your ears because they're not working. Okay? And yes, that pisses me off because if you want to comment on something, if you want to comment on something, at least get it educated. Listen to what the person has to say. Listen to the person's thing. Now, if he came out and said, you know what, we're going to round up all the Mexicans, no, he did not. He said all the illegal, which means they're breaking the law, which means they should be in jail and deported. Okay? End of story. If you are too if your ears are closed to hearing that piece of information, then you shouldn't be talking about it. Okay? End of story. End of story. So, and you know, the other thing is I saw that Mexico has a wall between Mexico and Guatemala, so Guatemalans cannot come in. And, you know, is that so wrong? No. But why is it such a something wrong when America wants to build a wall so Mexicans can't come in? And it has nothing to do with Mexicans, per se. The reason why everybody's talking about Mexicans is because they're the ones that always, habitually, come into the United States and illegally. They collect our money, be it from welfare, working, or working under the table, and they're sending it back to Mexico for their family. Or they're bringing more Mexicans in, illegally. If you want to be here, you go through the avenue of becoming a citizen. End of story. Okay? If you have your visa, you're fine. If you have your green card, you're fine. If you have a temporary visa, you're fine. If you're here illegally, go home. End of story. Now, it's a touchy subject because I know there are a lot of people here that have, you know, their visas have expired or whatever the case may be, and they're making a life for themselves and whatever. Now, in that case, I have sympathy. And I say, you know what, if you're doing what you have to do, you're working, you know, as long as you're still paying your taxes, you're not mooching off the system, then you know what, work on getting your green card, but you know what, there's not a reason for you to leave, because you're actually adding to the economy of this country, because you're paying taxes. Alright, so after that rant, I'm going to go to my next song. Alright, here is J Deuce with Hard Time, right here on the Sportswire.
This is hard times. Yo, I was raised in an environment filled with situations that I meet fairy tales in existence. Who like ghetto streets, it was tough for my mom to meet the needs of the household, to be able to have a table with me, to feed a mouthful. Bad social weather didn't allow my parents to stay together. When it rained and poured, it meant that I knew we're going through the same endeavor and can relate with what we're facing. Welfare and unemployment lines filled with familiar faces. Always hard to find a reason to smile. So you wanna get into my shoes and try to walk a mile? I don't know about that shit. It was tough for me to walk when I was continually growing out of my shoes. As far as new styles and trends, couldn't really spot them. As far as the ones who did, they were quick to get stolen. Wish I had a dime for every time I met someone going through the same grind. A clock made out of sweat can't compare to this hard time.
Need money to feed my kids.
This is hard time.
Asking God why I have to times to no time, a busy life to no life, a free life, a stress life, a hard time, a hard life. You try to make the best of these circumstances and everything that turns into it. But once you pay your bills, another one resurfaces. Some people that's already in debt think they got nothing to lose. But that's easy to act when the credit card is pre-approved. That's why you gotta be disciplined and be the bigger man, because you buy one thing and the government got you in the palm of their hand. And that's the problem when you make your biggest mistake. You buy the newest Escalade and have no food in your plate. When Obama became president, people thought that things was gonna change. But these can't change unless some of us take the blame. Two major debates is Medicaid and economy. A debate for the past 30 years because the world is a monopoly. The good die young and the better die quicker. The poor stay broke and the richer get richer. Hard times. This is hard times.
To keep with trends.
This is hard times.
Minimum wage, I need more hours.
This is hard times.
Cold water while I'm taking the shower. Wanna lean on friends.
This is hard times.
I'm down and out again.
This is hard times.
I need to feed my kids.
This is hard times.
As a shower, I have to leave. Late on rent again. Can't afford to keep with trends.
This is hard times.
Minimum wage, I need more hours. Cold water while I'm taking the shower. Wanna lean on friends. I'm down and out again. This is hard times.
This is hard times. This is hard times.
All right, we're back. That was Jay Deuce with Mike G and Asia Stevens with Hard Time right here on the Sportswire. Boy, today's been a day of controversy. No, well, besides the interview with Jenna Murata, I have to say, I had an idea of where I was going to go. Yeah, I went over the NFL game. I went over the Panthers. I want to talk a little bit about the WWE and Monday Night Raw, which was SummerSlam Fallout, and I love what they're doing. Okay? They want to make SummerSlam as big as WrestleMania, to the point where now they're having big returns on the Monday Night Raw after SummerSlam, which is awesome. Because for the longest time, everybody knew that the day after WrestleMania started the new storylines or the new contracts or what have you. You know what? The day after SummerSlam was just as awesome this year. Okay? First off, those damn Dudleys are back. That's right, Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley coming out to confront and 3D the New Day. It was just absolutely awesome. They have signed full-time contracts with the WWE, and they'll be on the road and on TV. It wasn't a one-off deal. So the Dudley boys are back. I am ecstatic about that. Okay? They need to beef up the tag team division, and the Dudley boys are just for it. Now, could we see the Hardys come back and have some, because at this point in their careers, it's not necessarily going to be the Hardys and the Dudleys. It's going to be the Hardys and the New Day, the Dudleys and the Ascension, and all these other tag teams that are coming through. You lost Kid and Cesaro. Okay, that's a given. Cesaro is doing great on his own, and I wouldn't recommend putting him into a tag team even when Tyson Kidd comes back. So you have, the Dudleys coming back. Can we see, obviously Edge and Christian won't be coming back. Edge is retired. Christian can't wrestle anymore. Both of injuries. Could we see the Hardy Boys come back? I mean, TNA is not doing very well. They're getting rid of the majority of their talent because they can't afford to pay them. Who knows if they're going to be on Destination America after next month? I don't know. And I wouldn't put too much. Let me say this: Global Force Wrestling, I feel that if done the right way, could possibly be a competitor for the WWE in 5 or 6 years. But it has to be done the right way. It can't be something like TNA where you're just automatically there, we're going to put a show on Monday night on this channel, and we're going to compete with the WWE. Ain't going to happen. Okay? I mean, you have to have some kind of a lineage, some kind of a backstory for it. When, obviously, TNA started on a pay-per-view only. Okay? Weekly. Like, $10 a month, $10 a week. You could watch their show. And it was 2 hours on a Wednesday night, I believe. Okay? So, then they went on. Then they finally got onto Spike TV when WWE left in 2005. Was it 2005, 2006, something like that. So, honestly, it was one of those things where, they worked their butts off. They finally got a lineage. But then, all they wanted to do was compete with the WWE. You need to focus on your own product. Okay? That was WCW's downfall, and that was TNA's downfall. WWE, yeah, they did some reaction, but you know what? They focused on their own talent. They focused on their own guys. They focused on creating their own guys. And that's what you need to do. You can't focus on WWE and say, ooh, you know what? They're going with, they're bringing D-Generation X back. All right, so we're going to name our next pay-per-view Destination X. So it'll be DX, and then we'll send them a, cease and desist letter, and we'll name the, tag team the Voodoo Kin Mafia, the VKM, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. You know what? There was just stupidity. Stupidity. Go on there and work on yourselves. The Dudleys coming back to the WWE is fantastic for the tag team division. Whether or not they get the tag titles. If they're there just to put over other talent, get some wins here and there, fine. You know what? That's what they do best. And Bubba Ray Dudley, who knows? Maybe he could become a WWE champion. You never know. Another big return. Well, before I get to the other big return, a big debut. And when I mean big, I mean big. The Wyatt family has a new member. Has a new tag team member. Okay, Braun Strowman, I think his name is. I can't remember. But he's a big guy from NXT. He was a rosebud at one time. But he debuted as the newest member of the Wyatt family on Monday night. Attacking Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. And, it's going to set up a 6-man match in Night of Champions. Who will join? It's not going to be Sting. No. Matter of fact, Sting came back on Monday night as well. And Sting will be facing Seth Rollins at Night of Champions for the World Heavyweight Championship. For the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, for those of you who have followed the career of Sting, okay, Sting will become, because I have a feeling they got to make Sting win. They need to give him a world title run. If they're going to give Brock Lesnar a world title run, they need to give Sting a world title run one time before his career's over. I mean, I don't care if he gets it Night of Champions and drops it at Hell in a Cell, or drops it at Survivor Series. He needs to have a world title run. He will be the first person in history. I believe, the first person in history to hold the WCW world title, the TNA world title, and the WWE world title. Kurt Angle never got the WCW world title. Booker T, I don't think ever won the TNA world title. I know he got the Legends title, but I don't think he ever got the world. Kevin Nash had both. Hogan didn't get both. I believe that's it. Jeff Jarrett never had the WWE title. Alright, well. Anyways, I really feel that Sting coming back and facing Seth Rollins at Night of Champions is a good thing. First of all, I have a feeling Seth Rollins is going to be pulling double duty. Now he's the U.S. and the World Champion. He's going to end up fighting twice at Night of Champions because every championship is supposed to be on the line. And with him being a dual champion, they're not going to keep the titles combined. They're not going to have them unified. So he's going to have to fight somebody else for the U.S. title. Will it be a rematch with Cena? Will it be Kevin Owens? Cesaro? Well, I think what might happen is he may win whatever match he has for the U.S. title. Seth Rollins, to keep the U.S. title, and then lose to Sting to lose the world title, which I think would be an absolutely fantastic ending for that, for his run. And then have Sting have the world title, have Sting, drop it before WrestleMania because they want to set up Sting and The Undertaker, as far as I know. They may also, I don't want them to wait until WrestleMania to have the rubber match between Brock and The Undertaker. So, who knows how that's going to be. All right, moving right along. We're going to get to our final song of the day. It's Second Skin with Bottle right here on the Sportswire. And that was Second Skin with Bottle right here on the Sportswire. Great song, great band. Have to say, it's just absolutely fantastic. All right, so let's get to our final segment of the day. You know what? Today's been one of those days where it's like I said, it's been one of those days where I reacted to something on Facebook, and you know what? It went on to it went it went into a big time rant. It's true. That's what happens. And, all right. So, let's get to our final segment of the show. And that means it is our dumb laws of the day. Today we'll be going to Michigan. Okay? All right. So, here we go. Michigan. Dumb laws in Michigan. Persons may not be drunk on trains. It is illegal to kill a dog using a decompression chamber. Okay? Adultery is illegal, but can only be punished upon a complaint by the affected husband or wife. No man may seduce and corrupt an unmarried girl, for he risks 5 years in prison. Okay, well, how do you date? The last Sunday in June of every year was named Log Cabin Day. Cars may not be sold on Sundays. You may not swear in front of women and children. That was repealed in 2002. Any person over the age of 12 may have a license for a handgun as long as he or she has not been convicted of a felony. Okay. A woman isn't allowed to cut her own hair without her husband's permission. There's a 3-cent bounty for each starling and 10-cent bounty for each crow killed in any village, township, or city in the state. That was repealed in 2006. It is illegal for a robber to file a lawsuit if he or she got hurt in your house. Oh, it is legal for a robber to file a lawsuit if he or she got hurt in your house. Wow, that's horrible. So you get arrested for breaking and entering, but then file a lawsuit because you got hurt. That's horrible. I don't like that. Because I think it's the same way in Connecticut as well. That's just really bad. I don't like that because I think Connecticut's got something similar where you can't even defend your house because if you shoot an intruder in your house and kill them, you're able to go to prison for murder. I think that's horrible. If somebody breaks into your house, they're the ones that should be going to prison for breaking and entering. Wow. Anyways, all right. In Clawson, Michigan, there's a law that makes it legal for a farmer to sleep with his pigs, cows, horses, goats, and chickens. Oh, wow. Okay. In Detroit, apparently the good folks in Detroit did not quite know what I don't know what that is. What a new meant? I don't know. Putt-putt golf courses must close by 1 a.m. Security guards at Joe Louis Arena will confiscate any item they feel might be thrown onto the ice. It is illegal to let your pig run free in Detroit unless it has a ring in its nose. Couples are banned from making love in an automobile unless the act takes place while the vehicle is parked on the couple's own property. Okay, that makes sense. Willfully destroying your old radio is prohibited. Your own property. I don't understand that. It is illegal for a man to scowl at his wife on Sunday. Oh, bother. No person shall throw in Grand Haven, Michigan. No person shall throw an abandoned hoop skirt into any street or on any sidewalk under the penalty of $5 fine for each offense. In Harper Woods, Michigan, it is illegal to paint sparrows and sell them as parakeets. Oh, wow. In Kalamazoo, Michigan, Derek Jeter's hometown, it is against the law to serenade your girlfriend. Wow, that's crazy. In Rochester, all bathing suits must have been inspected by the head of police. Wow. In Sioux, Michigan, SOO, smoking while in bed is illegal. And then in Wayland, Michigan, anyone can keep their cow on Main Street downtown at a cost of 3 cents per day. Oh, brother. That is amazing. Wow. Like I said, for those laws to be in effect, for those laws to be in effect, someone had to actually do those things to get to have the law made, or some of them should have been repealed because, first of all, I don't think anybody's going to park a cow on Main Street, let alone it only be 3 cents. Parking meters are $1.50 an hour nowadays. But just wow. All right. Well, folks, I think it's been a great show. I want to thank Jenna Murata for the great interview I had with her. Remember, this coming Saturday, August 29th, Falcon Field. Kickoff time is 7 p.m. Gates open at 6. Adults are $10. Kids under 12 are free. You will see the reigning, defending, undisputed 2014 Colonial Conference champions, the Connecticut Panthers, take on the Western Connecticut Militia. And before the game, you're going to see Jenna Murata sing the national anthem. She'll be there. She'll have CDs for sale. So definitely she'll have CDs on sale, so definitely come on out, support her, support the Panthers. You know, let's get people in the stadium. This is going to be a fantastic game. Let's go. All right. So, and I also want to thank our sponsors. That's right, our sponsors. It's So Real Productions, Jerry Wilson from It's So Real Productions. Okay, Stay Blessed Productions, Wayne Jones Management Company, Sister Sue's Homemade Jams and Jellies, and M&J Video Games and Sports Cards and First Base Sports Cards. Remember, this Saturday, 1 p.m., they're going to have Matt Stryker. They're going to have EC3, and which is Ethan Carter III, and the NXT wrestler, crud. I done forgot who it was. Let me get there. Hang on. So this Saturday, NXT wrestler CJ Parker. So it'll be Matt Stryker, CJ Parker, and EC3 this Saturday at 1 p.m. on the 29th. M&J Video Games and First Base Sports Cards in Wallingford on Center Street. Definitely go. I will be reposting the ad. So anyways, also, make sure to tune in to us wherever you can. All right? Spreaker.com/show/sports-wire. Okay? Also, you can find us at www.swe-ct.com, www.myfatcatradio.com. Then you've got facebook.com/sportswirect, facebook.com/BDC Vinnyapicella, facebook.com/fatcatradio enterprise. Also, Tumblr, SoundCloud, Instagram, Foursquare, Pinterest, Tout, Twitter, and Periscope are all at SWE Connecticut. And then YouTube, Skype, and Google Plus are all Sportswire SWE. And then go to iTunes, go to the podcast page, search Sportswire, and look for our flame logo. Subscribe to us, and every episode of Sportswire and every game that we broadcast for the Connecticut Panthers will be delivered directly to your listening apparatus on iTunes. The easiest way to do it. I want to thank you folks for listening, and thank you again to Jenna Murata. Thank you for our musical guests, Jay Deuce, Twism White Peace, and Second Skin. Folks, we'll see you Saturday. We will go live at about 6:30 p.m. for pregame. And And then we'll be broadcasting live from the Connecticut Panthers game this Saturday. All right, folks, have a good day. Have a good rest of the day, and we'll see you Saturday.